KWTN 100.9 FM, Allen, Nebraska. The official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe.
Oh yeah, you are listening to 100.9 FM. This is KWTN, the Big Voice Radio, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. You are listening to the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Coach Q, and on my side over here, right next to me,
B-Luv. What's up, everybody?
B-Luv is in the house,
I have to make sure Beth had me up here. I didn't see her over there. I thought I was getting looked off again.
Yeah, man. Hey, another episode, B-Luv. Another episode of the sports show, man. How you feeling?
Good.
Good.
A little hot right now because it's kind of muggy down here.
Yeah. But hey, man, a lot of sports happened. This last week, and we try to do our best to kind of, give the listeners a lot of information about our local teams around here, especially our beloved Winnebago Indians,
Yep, go Big Blue.
The high school volleyball been in action a lot lately, man. Like they've been having these trianglers like every 3 days or something. They probably got a good dozen games in the last week and a half or so. I know that the team's doing pretty decent. I don't think they're getting the dubs the way the coaches would like, but they are playing hard. They got a number of really good athletes there. The upperclassmen are really tough, but back in the day, Winnebago had a tough volleyball team, and there weren't too many tough teams around here in this area. But like nowadays, man, you look at how they play volleyball nowadays, the high school girls, and it seems like everybody has hitters and everybody has blockers and jump servers and stuff like that. So the game's been a little more evolved, since back in the day.
Sure.
But yeah, I know that the girls are working tough. And then they also got a number of girls out for cross country. And so, man, I know Winnebago's always been a basketball school, and I know that they're really looking forward to a good basketball season this year. And so those girls are going out for those sports, and they're trying to stay in shape, trying to get themselves in shape for the upcoming basketball season.
Yep, sure. And I heard they played a good little match last night. They had a triangular, and then all three teams split a game.
Really?
Yeah, they all lost to each, and then they lost one. It was pretty even. I don't know who wins those when it's like that.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. But that's good though. One of the things that I heard as well is like you count those triangulars. You count them as like one game for the night. You only get a certain amount of games for the season.
Oh, I see.
But those triangulars count as one game, so you actually get 2 games in a night. So that kind of just gets the girls a little extra time, looks like extra court time.
Yeah.
Maybe some of those games, some of the underclassmen even get in, and get some experience in those games too. So
sure.
But yeah, man, volleyball's a good sport. Volleyball. I remember when we used to play volleyball. It used to be fun. Only thing I had trouble with was passing.
Yeah.
Why was I always scared to pass the ball?
I don't know.
I think I was.
You like that in basketball too.
Oh goodness. but I think it was because the ball hits your arms where you're not used to hitting, and try to cry around and stuff like that.
It was fun back in the day, but I can't even think about trying to do that now. It's just it's crazy.
Well, I think I think the gym, they have open volleyball nights on certain nights too.
Really?
I was thinking about getting back down since I dropped a couple, man.
Don't embarrass yourself, man. Don't do it.
I'll be embarrassing you.
I'm gonna be sitting at home.
Yeah. So hey. Anyway, since we're into volleyball mode here, we're gonna talk a little bit about volleyball. This past weekend, a lot of the Winnebago teams, the youth teams, were in the league tournament up in the city, and we play our league games up at the arena up there. I really enjoy that facility because our kids are getting games upon games upon games in all these sports, and it's just extra experience that our kids wouldn't get
Sure.
if that place didn't exist.
Yep.
So,
I agree.
but ladies and gentlemen, one of our teams got into the championship game. Our fourth grade girls squad there from Whirling Thunder, and we have both the coaches here with us this evening. Coach Doreen Pear is with us today. Say hello, Doreen.
Hello.
And then also assistant coach Sheila Pear is with us today.
Hello.
Yeah, we was talking about being nervous on the radio and stuff like that, so we might get a couple one-word answers, but we also told him that we want him to kind of relax a little bit and kind of tell us a couple stories. But also in the studio this afternoon, this evening, we have 3 of the fourth grade volleyball girls that are representing tonight, and we're going to get them on the mic here in a little while, and they're all eager and very excited to get on the mic. So I wish I can get all the girls up here, short time, try to get what you can get. And we got some good, a good group of girls here to kind of visit a little bit. So I guess we're going to talk a little bit about this volleyball squad and then the volleyball program that Winnebago has. So Coach Doreen, I know that this ain't your first rodeo coaching these girls in particular, but also not this ain't your only sport that you coach. Can you tell us a little bit about your coaching background?
Actually, this is my first team that I've coached in this position. I helped my sister Tara last year with basketball, but I was just kind of in the background.
Okay.
And I only coached this year is because Dom said she wanted me to, so I said, why not? If she wants to play, let's do it.
Yeah. And you can't say no. You can't say no to your kids, and one thing too that not myself, but not just myself, but other coaches too, especially the youth coaches. Most of them are parents of these kids. Not too often do you get like just a random person coming in, a random coach coming in and teaching our kids stuff. A lot of times it is our parents, because we're the ones that will invest our time and not worry about getting paid about it, and but that's real good. I know these girls are in good hands. I got to see these girls play every week, and they really from the first tournament or the first game into the last tournament, the last game of the season, the girls all improved so much. You can just tell from the beginning of the season. So how about that? Tell us a little bit about your team, and then even maybe a game that stood out, and kind of tell us a little bit about your season like that, Doreen.
I think we had a total of 12 girls. It was a mixture of 4th and 3rd grade girls.
Yeah.
I've never played volleyball in high school, so I kind of went in with little knowledge, but I watched videos. I asked Sheila her opinion on stuff that we could do in practice, and just a lot of communication with the girls, trying to explain, this is why we do this is why we do that. And even though they're not doing everything that a volleyball player can and should do, we're learning, they learn the basics.
And that's where it starts right there. That's where, and that's the best word that you could use is the basics. Those basic fundamentals at that age, they need to learn those even before they learn about, conditioning and training and all these other kind of drills that they do. The basic fundamentals is what they need to learn right away.
And then with you guys as parents, as mothers out there, it makes especially your kids out there playing, makes them more comfortable because you guys are there, and then maybe they'll kind of open up a little bit more and their minds open up and onto, when you guys get to drills and get to this kind of stuff, then at least they'll be more comfortable knowing that you guys are there. So big shout outs to you guys for doing that. I mean, all coaches, everybody, all these parents as coaches,
And then me and Buff talk about this a lot on the radio when we're talking about the coaching of these young ladies. And one thing is that, that for me, I can already say that it's tough to coach girls. I tried it a couple times, man. It's tough to coach girls because I'm used to coaching boys, and I'm used to raising my voice, and I'm used to discipline, and hey, it needs to be like this. Hey, if not, get on the line. That kind of thing. And I can't do that with these girls.
Yeah.
Because
you can.
I could, but I kind of try not to.
Yeah.
Is because I don't want them to get mad or feel sad or something like that. Like I'm getting mad at him.
Yeah, I don't want you to quit on me.
I don't want you to quit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you gotta try different ways to kind of do that. But you just now said this on a couple episodes ago about the junior high girls, making the transition into high school, about those attitudes.
Yeah,
remember?
Once these girls they start coming into themselves and they start getting the attitude and I know this, I know that, I know everything kind of stuff. That's when it gets a little more tougher. So we always give Sean Walker a big shout out on there because he was handling the junior high girls there for a couple of years. I don't know if he's still doing it this year or not.
I think he's doing boys this year now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, different kind of attitude, but they'll still be there. But yeah, girls be tougher. It's just crazy because same thing. You don't want to really holler at them because you don't want them to quit on you. And it's crazy.
Coach Sela, do you see any of those kind of attitudes yet with these girls or not yet?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially like helping in my daughter's on the team, and there's times where her attitude comes out and then Doreen kind of take over.
Yeah. Pull the anti
Yep.
card. Yeah. No, that really just kind of goes along with with sports and in general. Girls they're said to scientifically said to mature faster than boys, and so I guess we don't see attitudes with those boys until they kind of get into high school when they start getting cocky and stuff like that. Different way, different attitude, but within the girls kind of start that a little bit earlier. But that's why I wanted to try to commend you girl coaches, you female coaches, you women coaches, because they need you guys there. Because if I'm scared, or if the other male coaches are scared to raise their voices at these girls at some point, because you probably do it at the house with them from time to time, so they kind of are used to you guys saying stuff, and so that would help them out in the long run. Then they don't have to worry about getting their feelings hurt or something like that by the guy coach, So big shout out to you guys for all the work that you do, and I say we kind of filter a couple of these girls up here, huh?
Let's do it.
All right, so coming up here, Doreen, you want to introduce your three girls here, and then they'll come on up here.
We have Dominique.
Dominique.
That's my daughter. We have
Briley.
And Jessie.
Siki. So if you three girls want to hop up here on the mic with Coach Q, and then we'll do a little interview with these girls right here. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to 100.9 FM. This is KWTN, the Big Voice Radio. You are listening to an exclusive interview right now with 4th grade girls volleyball team right here on the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. So we got Dom, we got Briley, and we got Jessie. You girls go ahead and scoot a little bit closer to your microphones. Okay, but don't hit the table. All right. So, hi girls.
Hi.
Not too loud. Okay, so hey, before I ask you girls about this volleyball, I want to give one of your teammates a little shout out right here. This young lady that's sitting over here, Jessie Freebass. Is it your birthday today?
Yes.
How old are you today?
I am 10 years old.
10 years old. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And then you get to be on the radio too?
Yeah, that's really cool.
All right, it's going to be cool. So you girls, I'm going to ask you girls each a couple questions, okay? And so I'm going to say your name, and then I'm going to ask you the question, then I want you to go ahead and answer it however you want to answer it, okay? And you guys can just look at me and talk to me like we're at the gym, all right?
All right.
So Dom, I'm going to ask you first since you're sitting right next to me. So tell me about the fun you had this year for your volleyball season.
It was really cool.
It was really cool. What else? Tell me a few things that you learned this year.
To dive.
To dive? You dive for the ball? Okay. And then what was your favorite highlight that you did this year out there in the volleyball court?
Overhanding the ball.
Overhanded the ball? On a serve or a spike?
A serve.
A serve? Oh, awesome. Did it go over?
Yeah, sometimes.
Did they do that little cheer where they said ace? Did they do that?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. All right. So tell me a little bit about your coaches, and don't say mom. Tell me a little bit about your coaches. What did you learn from your coaches?
pass the ball.
To pass the ball. There you go. That's one thing that I always had trouble with, is passing the ball. I'd always be scared because it hurt my arms right here. So, Jesse, what do I do?
You make me put on a long sleeve and then my regular short sleeve so I don't hurt those parts on my arm.
Yeah, and you guys might want to try that if it hurts your arms. A long sleeve shirt. Remember, a long time ago, the volleyball shirts used to have long sleeves all the time because of that. So, but it's not a long time ago. I got some young ladies up here that are playing the new age volleyball. All right, so Briley Blackfish, how are you doing, babe?
Good.
Good. Well, it's really good to see you up here up at the radio station doing this little interview with your teammates and your coaches. So I'm going to ask you the same question. Briley, tell me a little bit about the fun that you had on your volleyball season this year.
It was cool playing on the court.
Do you like the arena up there? Do you like the courts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Since you play basketball up there all the time, does it kind of seem like your home court?
Yeah.
You play up there all the time? All right. So how about this? Tell me about one of the highlights that you did this year in volleyball. Something that you kind of thought to yourself, oh, you surprised myself too?
I like playing up in the front.
Up in the front? That's nice. That's a good spot. What? Are you going to be a spiker when you get older?
Probably.
Let's go. Nice. Let's go, man. All right, man. All right. So then, how about, was there any special game that you remember you guys winning this year?
Against Ponca.
Against Ponca? Ooh, wasn't that this past weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. And then Ponca I heard Ponca was the number one seed in the tournament. Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. And you guys beat the number one seed. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm talking about. You know, that's why we do these youth sports for these kids to not only have fun playing the sport, but to learn how to get to the next level. And I think these girls are doing just that after beating the number one seed Ponca in the youth tournament that they had this past weekend. That's a great job. All right. Okay, birthday girl. Now it's your turn. I need to ask you the same question.
All right.
Tell me a little bit about the fun that you had during your volleyball season this season.
I had a lot of fun hanging out with my teammates because I know most of them,
Yeah.
all of them actually.
Yeah.
My teammates always knew how to help me. My coaches were really nice,
Nice.
and I also learned a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Learned a lot of stuff. Remember, did you hear us talking about the fundamentals and doing the basics?
Yeah.
And then so that coaches is that what they're teaching you guys at your practice, is the basics and how to pass and how to serve and stuff?
Yeah, kinda, mostly.
Nice. Okay, so how about you? I know that the season was long. I believe it was a 7 or 8 week season with 2 tournaments. And what do you think? Did you have a memorable game? Something that you remember?
Yes, actually, there was one from that really important game that we did against Westside.
Oh yeah, Westside team. Westside was pretty good.
They were one of the really good ones, and they beat us 3 times in the last 3 years, and this year we beat them.
Oh, nice. Another testimony of hard work and practice and learning this game of volleyball. And we have another testament of Winnebago becoming better than they were before. So that's really good. I'm glad that you girls are here. Now I got a couple other questions I didn't prepare you girls for. Okay.
All right.
These ones are gonna get at the listeners and the viewers to know who you guys are a little bit better. Okay.
I'm gonna
go down the line. I'm gonna go Dom, then Briley, then Jesse. Okay.
like you were doing before.
Yes, but I'm gonna go one question at a time.
All right.
All right. Dom, tell me your favorite food. What is your favorite? Noodles? All right. Cooked. Briley, tell me your favorite food.
We gotta go with pizza.
Pizza, let's go, man. Pizza, all right, that sounds good. We have a Italian food lover. All right, Jesse, Carolyn.
Yeah?
Tell me your favorite food.
I have a lot of favorites, but my two favorites, I can't decide, but it'll probably be either sushi or any kind of pasta.
Pastas and sushi. Ooh, you guys are making me hungry right now. All right, so hey, okay, Dom, tell me your favorite superhero. I know everybody has a favorite superhero.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's legit. All right, Bradley, who's your favorite superhero?
The same as Dom's.
Oh, Spider-Man? Oh, so that's a good one too. Seeky Love.
Yep,
Who is your favorite?
my dad.
Oh, I'm not, hey, I didn't script that. No, look at he's trying to kick you out.
Hey.
Who's your favorite superhero?
We're gonna make the thing explode.
Who's your favorite superhero? Who's your favorite one on TV?
Oh. Deadpool.
Deadpool?
Yeah, he's real funny and he cannot die.
I know, he's a jokester, isn't he? He's like a comedian. Oh man, he's a good one too.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. Deadpool and Wolverine seems like a really good movie so far.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh man, that sounds good. Okay, those were 2 questions, okay? All right, here's your 3rd question, all right?
Okay.
This one's gonna be a tough one for you guys.
Alright.
Who's your favorite teacher?
I already got mine.
Who's your favorite teacher?
I already know mine.
Miss LaPointe, now she's the principal.
Oh, Miss LaPointe. Oh, it's got some shout outs. Miss J. LaPointe. All right, Briley.
Miss Man.
Miss Man. Oh, Miss Man's getting a shout out today. Jesse.
Mine is the one I have right now. Mrs. Finzen, Mrs. Janet Finzen.
No, Janet Finzen is in the house as well. Let's go.
She's the best teacher I've had in my 9 years.
9.
10. I
Okay,
mean.
there you go.
10, I mean.
Forgot you're 10 years old. All right. Hey, that was some good answers, you guys. Some good answers. So now, this is the last question. Then we're gonna go ahead and let you girls go, and we're gonna move on to our next part of the show. Okay.
Alright.
All right. So, what is your favorite color?
It's violet or lime green.
Violet or lime green? Ooh. You know what is violet and lime green? The Joker and Beetlejuice. Let's go. All right.
Don't say his name 3 times.
Briley, what's your favorite color?
Light blue.
White and blue? Or what'd you say, light blue?
Yeah.
Oh, Carolina blue? Let's go, Bradley. Let's go. All right, Jesse. Last question. What is your favorite color?
Either violet or dark red.
Or dark red?
Dark red.
Ooh, blood red. Okay. Hey, you girls.
Don't
I want to
put it
say,
like that.
I want to say a couple things before you guys get off the mics. Okay.
Yep.
I want to say congratulations first. Congratulations on a real good season. I should say good seasons because you girls just played in the spring volleyball league up at the arena and then took time off and played softball all summer. And then you guys can hop right back into volleyball again. So good seasons, okay? Great job. And then one thing that I'm gonna say, and I know that when Buff gets up back on the mic, he's probably gonna say the same thing. But you girls, keep keep your minds open and try to learn as much as you can from every coach that you have. From every coach that you have, try to learn as much as you can, okay? Play hard, and then the main thing, have fun. Have fun doing it, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right, you girls. Hey, last one. Do you want to give any shout outs? You want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yeah.
This is the only time in the show where we give shout outs, man. So if you want to give a shout out, go ahead and give a shout out to whoever you want to give a shout out to in the mic. All right, Dom's first.
My baby brother Leo.
Okay, shout out to Leo. Anybody else?
dad and Kiko,
Who is it?
my baby brother,
Yeah,
and my dad.
and your dad. All right.
Kiko's
What
nice.
about your grandma? Shout out to your grandma. Nah. Grandma Rhoda, tribal council member. All right.
I don't know
Briley.
anything about that, but I'm still gonna laugh.
Briley, do you want to give any shout outs before you get off the mic?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Give us a shout out.
To my Chokalui,
Ooh, Chokalui, shout out. Anybody else?
my Nickel Roulette,
Okay. Shout out. Anybody else?
no.
Okay. Good shout outs. Okay, Jesse, Carolyn, go ahead and give your shout outs, babe.
Alright, I want to give a shout out to my mom, Jessica Freebass, or just Free, and my 2 brothers, Rock and Kimi,
Yep.
and my friend Etta, and all the other girls on my volleyball team.
Oh, let's go. All right. Good shout outs, girls. Good shout outs. And I want to say thank you to all you girls and you coaches for coming up here and giving us some of your time. I know sometimes you guys are busy, but I'm glad I caught you guys in a time where you guys can come give us at least a little half hour and share with us your stories and then your sports too. So thank you very much, you girls. You guys have a good evening and God bless, okay?
I'm going to slap the mic before I get off.
Okay, you just have a seat. All right, we're gonna get the next guest up here now. Me and B-Luv, we've been talking a lot about football lately, and then football season kind of gets coming to an end, and we start getting into the basketball mode, and that's kind of where we're at like right now in the season. Is we're talking a lot about the football season coming to an end. Winnebago is made the playoffs, and the next couple of games are going to be really, really important games. We have a big game with the Omaha Nation coming up tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, that game right there is going to be a huge game. The Winnebago and Omaha Nation teams haven't played each other in football for a few years. They're really hyping it up, and it's the last game of the season right before the playoffs. Omaha Nation has 1 loss, and I believe they're a 2nd seed in the playoffs on the lower schools.
The B squads or the B,
The smaller school ones.
the smaller, yeah.
And then Winnebago is a powerhouse right now and the number 1 seed for the bigger schools. And so both those teams are going to be meeting number 1 against number 2 tomorrow night down in Mason, Nebraska. So if you guys want to look for some good football, man, head on down there, man. They got a beautiful field down there.
Yep, they do.
I mean, we got a beautiful field, but they got a beautiful field too.
Yep.
You know, and playing on turf nowadays, I mean, I don't know. We'll talk about this with the other guys too.
Yeah.
But just about injury, I keep on bringing up the injury. Is that why a lot of these kids are getting injured now? It's because of the turf.
What is it?
Because there's a lot of knee problems going on. Like there's high school kids. Like probably about 5 or 6 high school kids I know that had knee surgeries. You know.
Wow.
And but
I don't understand. It's softer. It's supposed to be safer. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you got to run around out there.
But isn't it harder on your joints though? Isn't it harder on your joints though?
I believe so. It's softer, but I think it's you wear different shoes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't know. I think it's not like there's a lot of rubber underneath there. So like maybe when you turn, it doesn't turn right or something like that. I don't know.
Probably got more grip.
Yeah. Hey. So let's talk a little bit about what we're gonna talk about. So I had this idea, right? And I know it's kind of short notice, but I was thinking, when we talk about football in here, our stories that we, just from like experience, because we talk about stories on here, try to bring up old names, and which is what we love to do, we bring up old names and stuff. But we always talk about what we remember, and which is like from when we got out of high school. If we went to the games, if we knew who the players were, we talk about that. But then we talk about maybe some of the 80s teams when they went to state, because we were alive and we weren't there, we weren't there like filming or nothing like that, so we don't remember the games, you know.
Yeah, we know a lot of names of a lot of big names. That's
Yeah,
been,
and so
You guys are probably there, but you guys are playing football in the back,
back,
by the baseball
Yeah,
field.
over there at the end, in the end
That's
zone.
what I was doing at the football game too.
Yeah. No, exactly too. So I thought it'd be a good idea to, while we're talking about Winnebago football, to maybe come bring a couple of gentlemen in that are alumni from Winnebago that played in different eras.
good call.
Different eras. And so we can talk about those eras and have somebody that has that insight, that was at the games, that was right there on the line, literally, and to talk about those things. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple alumni here. First, we have Kevin Ebert here. Kevin played. Or Kevin, just give us a little intro, man, and tell us a little bit about your.
I just want to say I'm really honored to be here and to come in with you guys and to get invited along with with a legend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shoot, what more can you ask for? I played high school from 83 to 86, and we went to state in 84, 85, and 86.
Okay, so see right there, we got the perfect guy on here. You know, anybody that played football during those years right there is the one we want to talk to. So you know, Kev, you've been at these games. You help out with the production crew, and Winnebago right now is sitting at the top of the league. They got a big game against Omaha Nation coming up, and then they already got the first, the number 1 seed in the tournament at the end.
Home court advantage too.
Yeah, home field advantage. Yep. And so you've been watching Winnebago football, and then me and B-Luv, we have a debate on here with some of the listeners about do we stay in the All Indian League, or do we try to get back into playing Nebraska State teams, or something like that. So those are kind of some discussions that we talk about, and I know that we want to hear from other people too. So, well, I guess first and foremost, man, take us. Oh, before I go, we also have in the studio a legend from back in the days, and you're gonna have to give your own introduction. I don't remember. Nobody told me what years you were in high school. Hey, no, but we have a legend here. I know. Did you have school back then? Did you have to go to school back then? No. We have a legend. John Smith is here with us. John, kind of give us a little introduction about like when you went to school and how it was back then.
I went to Winnebago High from '63. I graduated in '67. I played 4 years up here at St. Augustine, the CYO League in Sioux City, so I was kind of ahead of all the other athletes that entered Winnebago, because back in them days they didn't have programs like they do now for little kids up to junior high. And so I played up here, and we played in Sioux City, all the boxing and track and basketball up here, and I was way ahead of everybody down in Winnebago. And we played 8-man my first 2 years in high school, and we switched over to 11-man my junior year. So it was, and I played 11-man up here. So when I got in high school, the football from junior high and high school, I didn't even notice the difference till years after that. You mean that football was that small? And you get into high school and you get into college, the ball's a little bit bigger,
Oh yeah.
And I had a lot of fun, and I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of respect, and learned a lot of things from my coaches, how to be a leader. Learned things from my teachers, how to. They took me aside and said speech would do me good. Mrs. Price was the teacher down at Winnebago at that time, and she said it would help me in my sports, and it would help me later on whatever I pursued in my life.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And John, one of the things that me and B-Luv like to do on here is we like to we like to do it, and we like to have our guests on here, give say some of those names, like when you're talking about your coaches, let us know the names of your coaches, because those are basic kind of shout outs. And one thing, especially because a lot of our coaches, they're not around no more. And we want the listeners to remember those names.
Our old players and stuff. So a lot of times when we talk about them, we got some of our old football buddies that passed on, that we try to bring the names up out of respect, just to hear their names over the airwaves and stuff. The listeners can hear them. And
we have a lot of sports fans that from Winnebago, and then neighboring tribes too, that listen to it. They love to hear their relatives' names again. Sometimes they don't hear those names for years, and then all of a sudden we bring it up, and then we get some people online saying thank you for bringing up my Choka's name or something like that. So yeah, as we're chatting it up, man, you guys throw some names out there for us, and everything. So let's get started with this kind of interview.
Let's do it.
So let's go back. Let's take it back a while. Let's go back to memory lane here.
I just realized, you guys talking about being chokers and stuff. I said, I guess we are chokers, huh?
We are all chokers.
Yeah, we're all
the kids are
chokers.
talking about, we're talking about our friends, and that's my choker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're up there,
For real, and then it's nothing but good, good thoughts and good feelings, and trying to bring some positivity and some happiness out there, If somebody's listening, so let's kind of do it,
Yeah.
So so let's take it way back, John, you said you were you played in 63.
Yeah.
So 63, 64, 8-man, 65, 66, 11-man. So I guess a couple of questions, like maybe kind of tell us some of the big dogs, some of the athletes you guys had here in Winnebago that helped you guys, become a scary team.
Well, when I was in grade school up here, they had guys like the Henry Pear, Haga Pear, Kuna Pear that played high school ball here in Winnebago High. And as kids growing up, we always, when we look up to other athletes that are good, we look up to other students that are speakers. They're involved in some kind of activity, and we kind of look at them if whatever you decide you're going to do in your life, and you kind of look ahead, and that's which I did. But you always have those heroes that you never forget.
Yeah.
And mine were Haga Pear and Henry Pear, because I played halfback in grade school, and I switched over to quarterback when I was in the 8th grade. And but when I got in high school, I always wanted to be a running back.
Yeah.
And you look at Charlie H., and I remember when they were playing Homer one time, he rolled back like that way, and your Uncle Darrell LaPointe could throw that ball just as far as he could. He rolled back like that way, he threw that sucker 50 yards. And I can't remember, they were playing Homer, and they beat Homer up there on their field that time. But that ball sailed 50 yards at least.
Wow.
I can't remember who the receiver was, but one time Darrell LaPointe, bless his soul, the boys' uncle,
Yeah.
he threw me a long pass. And I never forgot that was one of the highlights of my career. Two guys were closing into me like that when he threw that long pass, and they nailed it right in between there.
Nice.
And there was guys like that played when I was in 8th grade. I used to go to a lot of the football games. There was guys like Cleve Harden, Frank White. I played with Frank White. He made All-State when I was a freshman. Him and I were first team ends. I was a freshman. He was a senior. And there was Lloyd Hamilton. He was a halfback. And you had Charlie O'Gorman. He was a halfback. And Delbert Stansberry, he was a quarterback when I got in high school. And some of the older players like Billy Harden, and you look like Reverend, a lot of people told me these stories, not Reverend, he was a lawyer, Red McLuhan. They were all-state basketball players in them days. Andy Baker, I don't know if you boys remember him or not. He's a little
remember the name.
guy.
Yeah.
But them guys made all-state. That was their first championship that you see down at the.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
tree. They won that state
Was that
championship.
65?
I can't remember who they all were, but there was Andy Baker, Red McLuhan. I can't remember who the rest of the boys were, but they had a good team in basketball.
Wow.
You mentioned Charlie H.
Yeah, Charlie H. He was a good quarterback. He wasn't very tall,
See,
but
me
he had an arm.
and Buff, when we were in high school, we got to his boy Scotty H. He was our quarterback for my first 2 years.
Yeah. He was really good.
Yeah,
He was a freshman when I played.
Yeah.
And he was really good. I remember just to share a quick story about Scott, since we were on the subject there. Yeah, I remember, I think we were playing Beamer. Tough game. Beamer's always tough, right? Beamer and Bancroft was like just
Never beat him in high school football.
Yeah, cream of the crop. Those guys are tough. I mean, you remember. Anyway, I forget what it was. They threw the ball. They got it. They got the ball. They turned around, and Scott come up and just was going to lower the boom, and then he let up. Then all of a sudden, he taken off the other way. What the heck? He didn't even hit that guy. He ran right at him, put his head down. All he did is reached in and stripped that ball from him, and he took off down the other way. Never seen nothing like that. Like, wow, what the heck's going on? Because everybody wanted to just lower the boom and just let's nail him.
Yeah.
Took off the other way. That was pretty crazy. One of the most accurate quarterbacks. Yeah. I mean, we only played with him and Wally. Wally wasn't too bad, but yeah, he wasn't Scott. Scott was pretty good.
Yeah, Scotty was a good quarterback. But hey, another name to bring up, another name from the past,
Yeah.
Rest his soul too.
There was a lot of white boys going to school here at time when Charlie H. played when I was still in grade school.
Yeah.
John Tompkins, he was about over 6 foot 3'4", and there was Bob Humphrey, he was about 6'3", 6'4", and they had some big linemen. This farmer that lives out here, what the heck's his
Krause?
name? No, he lives up in when you go that way down towards Emerson.
Barclay?
He lives up in a field there, like.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
He made All State anyway. He made All State. He was the center for Charlie H. and them. And guys like that, where the white boys were big.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, they
and
put us
like-
on the line.
So you know what? One thing that
I grew up on a farm.
me and Buff talk about from time to time about these Nebraska teams too, you know, and is those big farmer boys, you know,
Yeah.
out there having to load up that hay and work early in the morning even before school.
Worked with
you
a lot of
know.
them.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's we brought that up, but see a lot of the viewers and listeners and the people that are around nowadays, they don't know that Winnebago used to be like a majority white school back in the day.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't remember that's too far for a lot of the younger people to know because they don't have like open yearbooks right now like back in the day. They used to have pictures hanging up at the school all the time from the past, and then something changed. The farmers kind of moved their kids to different schools and different things like that. Now Winnebago is like probably 98%, at least 95% Ho-Chunk go to school here, So there's a big difference between from when you guys are going to school and then the kids nowadays,
There was Stout Boys, and there was Stout Boys, Humphrey, Charlie Gorman, and Moore. Everett Moore was a good lineman. He played for the University of Nebraska. Him and Don Stout went to the University of Nebraska. When I was a freshman, I don't know how far they went, but they went down to their freshman year, and they both played.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No,
Yeah.
those are the things that we like to hear here too. Is those kind of stories because we don't hear a lot of that stuff.
Check this out. My first Nebraska game, I went with Everett Moore.
Really?
Yeah.
He was a good lineman.
That's so
Good
crazy.
lineman.
And you know what? He never said a word.
Really?
They used to call him Moose.
Hey, so what was your coaches? Let's talk about your coaches a little bit.
When I left from here and I went down I wanted to go to Winnebago because my big brother Mike was he was going to be a junior, and I wanted to play ball with him. He didn't play ball up here. He didn't play basketball up here. But when he got down there, he did real good in all three sports, track included, and I wanted to be alongside him. And we got when my freshman year, I made first team with Frank White. We were first team ends, and my other two brothers I was right end. Take that back. I was right end, and my other two brothers, they played right end too, and I got to play with both of my oldest brother and my younger brother Dave, and as we went along, we went to 2 Logan Valley conferences. Charlie H.M. were undefeated when I was in 8th grade. We got down. I was undefeated my freshman year, my sophomore year. We was Class B champions in my freshman year, and state champions in Class B. And then we was rated number 1 for about 3 games until we dropped down to 10th and worked our way back up. When I was a sophomore, it was all a senior-oriented team. And Sam Rose got hurt, so they put me in a backfield. And I just stayed there because my work ethic.
Yeah.
And we won the Logan Valley Championship. And then all them players, a lot of them are, like you said earlier, a lot of them players are gone now.
Yeah.
And that I played with, and I haven't seen. Sometimes I run into them over the years and ask me how I'm doing. Some of them were like this, and I always tease them, But a lot of them players are gone, and those are probably my 2 best years. And when I was a lot of them graduated, a lot of them come back to see us play, and like you, then something happened to the Omaha school in Macy, so they come. There was a lot of Omaha athletes here.
Okay.
J.C. Aldridge, Carol Webster, just to name a few, and football. They were good football players, and some weren't here now either,
Those guys you mentioned got some Winnebago and Omaha kids anyway. They do it to the.
But we got along good. I guess a long time ago they didn't get along. But when they come up here, we're just like we all were just like brothers, where you guys were teammates together, and learn to respect one another.
I just had a conversation about brotherhood and sisterhood, and I kind of started off by saying it's not kind of like nowadays. It kind of sounds a little cliche, a little like everybody says it now or something like that, but it really is like true. It is true of those words, of the meaning of those words, the brotherhood and the sisterhood. Whether it's boys in sports or girls, like every season, I'm thinking back to like seasons that I had, and all my bros that I played ball with, football, basketball, even on the track team from back in the day, and to this day, all my bros that I played sports with that's still around, I see them and they're still bro. They're still bro. You know.
Glad to see when they run into you.
I'm a little over 35 years old, and buff like that.
Your shoes are over 35 years old.
But you guys understand what I mean, because that brotherhood and that sisterhood, like that, that's a lifelong connection you guys have, and I'm glad that John brought up those names, because it didn't even take you. You didn't have to write those down. You remember those names because those guys back then, that was your brotherhood, you know.
Yeah, just because we're talking about that too, you know, and I mean, not just football, but all sports. You get that. You know, I traveled around playing basketball as a young man, and just now looking online here, then I got a couple of them that hit on our thing. Nate Dill, shout out Nate Dill and Rich Buck.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you meet so many brothers and sisters along the way, you know, and you know, you never forget about those guys.
And you're still friends with them. You see them years after that, and they remember certain games, and they remember them championship games.
You remember how many points you scored, and you know how many
rebounds you got.
Yeah, how many points you held them to, and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, these guys here. I was lucky enough to play with these guys on the court. Went to battle with them a lot on the traveling team, and you know, Rich Buck and Nate Dill, two of the best to ever play on the native circuit. You know, that's pretty good.
And then, not to mention that, but their offspring is pretty darn good too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rich's kids. Rich was got, I think he's got 4, and every one of them Division I. You know, and then his daughter, his oldest daughter, Tisha. I don't know if she played WNBA or not, but I know she played Division I.
I know she's the all-time leading 3-point shooter at New Mexico.
Yeah. So, you know, shout out to my boys. You know, then Nate Dill got, you know, his daughter down there still representing down in, what's she at?
State.
Yeah, down in Peru.
Yeah, her senior year.
Yeah, she got a better looking jumper than her dad ever did. I know that. Good little follow through, Nate. You better fix that.
Well, yeah. Hey, thanks for all that information from back in the 60s there, John, and you actually gave me more information than I was expecting.
So whenever you want to talk sometime.
That's a big pinagee, and I'll sit down and chat with you all day long about that stuff. You know, too.
A lot of games that you remember. You know.
Yeah. I remember we talked one time, and I was telling you about some stuff, you know, and the Mile High Miracle story about being 16 points down.
Yeah.
Best game I ever coached in before, and I don't know, I coached it, but the kids did all the work, you know.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, let's go into the 80s, yo. Let's go into the 80s, man. I got Kevin Eber here. Kevin played an integral part of the Winnebago teams that went to state for 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row, and it was back in the 80s. So I'm going to have Kevin talk a little bit about that. And then also, Kev, let's talk about your coach, too, a little bit. So I'm going to let you have the mic a little bit, and then we'll get into talking about your coach.
Well, our coach was Dallas Ross. He was the head coach. But you know what? In my opinion, a lot of people don't know. I mean, do you guys know who Dennis Peters is?
I do, yes.
Do you?
Dennis Peters, big tall
Dennis
Peters,
Peters.
big tall.
Yeah, yep.
Well, he was a lineman coach. And I want to say that was half our credit, man, because, I mean, he coached us.
Yeah.
And Dallas coached Flip and the quarterbacks and the ends and stuff. So, I mean, he was also our defensive coach. I mean, we used to average 52 points a game, but they only averaged 8 points on us. So, I mean, that was pretty remarkable. I mean, most games, after halftime, you know, third quarter, we was taking off. I mean, we could have so many more points and stuff, but we did what we could.
Kev, who's on the line with you back then?
Depends on what year.
Okay.
Because me and Coley was just talking about that just about an hour ago. I was like, hey, we're getting ready to go on this, you know.
Bring up some of the names that all years.
I didn't realize this. Well, I don't know, about 3 issues ago, I wrote the question of the issue was, what was your high school memory that most fondest to you? Well, to me, my sophomore year, we went to state, and the first game in state playoffs was here in Winnebago, and the field was just crazy packed. I mean, there was charter buses. I mean, this is in the 80s now. There's charter buses in the parking lot. You know, I mean, that's not nowhere near normal. You know, nowadays shit, we have our own charter bus. You know, and Ansley came to town and talked about that Miracle 16. You know, well, we was going to the fourth quarter. And I don't know if people remember it as clear as I do. I mean, it was 30 to 18. We was getting beat, and we was down. And we came back and we scored. And we went up 38 to 30. And we thought we had it. Shit, we let down, man. We let them score, and there's like, I don't know, 15 or 30 seconds left on the clock. and they scored. And all I had to do was get that 2-point convert. And I remember them, the quarterback taking off. They ran an option to the right, and he held on to it for a minute. Then as soon as he see me, he pitched it, but I took him down anyway. And Troy Smith, as soon as that guy got the ball, Troy Smith took him out. And that right there, that sealed our game, and we won that game. Then we went on the next week, and we played down in Humphreys. I think it was anyway. We go down there, and I just looked this up like maybe 5-10 years ago. We had the most points scored in a high school playoff game for like 30 years.
Really?
Never got beat. We got beat. I think it was like 62 to. We got beat by like 4 or 5 points. It was like 60 to 56 or something.
Really?
Damn basketball score.
I know.
It was
Sounds like a basketball.
It was a huge
score.
shootout, man. So I mean, it was cool.
Man, I bet you that
What
was a
year
fun
was
game
it?
to watch.
Okay,
man.
but then you was asking. Okay, so we had Frank and Troy Smith played on the left end. They bring in the plays in and out. Then you had Mario, and then I was the center, and then Charlie Aldridge was the right guard, and Coley Brown was the right end. And I want to say we had different quarterbacks, but I want to say Matt Painter was our quarterback, and then Frank also ran fullback too, and then Brian was fullback and Flip was tailback.
Yeah.
And I was
Man, I remember that
Where
squad,
was
man.
Shorty at back in all that? Well, Shorty
was the end,
was the end.
and then when Matt graduated, and then Shorty took over our quarterback, our sophomore, or no, I think my junior and senior, or no. Because Flip played quarterback in there too. I mean, we all played everything, man. I was an end for a while. When I was a freshman, I was an end. Then I moved to center. Then I went to tackle. I played all over on defense. But I remember I was telling them, me and Coley was talking about it because I was telling about Brian Kennedy has this picture of his brother was standing in the parking lot against the fence or something, but he was like in the end zone, but looking at the field. And it was the first play of that game, and we ran a cross buck right, and that's where we pulled the left guard to come through, and Coley hit the guy this way, Charlie took the guy that way, and then Mario comes through, takes out the linebacker, and they took a picture. I swear, as wide as this table,
Open to see.
and you could see it. And Brian had the ball, and he's in the middle of that, and you could see how there was no player within 3 or 4 feet on either side of him. And
Executed it nice.
We scored the first play of the game. We thought it was gonna be easy. Like I said, next thing we know, we're down 30-18 in the fourth quarter. But
Bro,
but the coolest thing though, one more thing. The coolest thing though was when we scored. Knutski was in the end zone, lighting off M80s.
M80s. Yeah, we remember them M80s.
We remember that, man.
Yeah. Hey, bro, it's funny that you said that because when we were in high school, that same play was our bread and butter play as well. What we would do is we'd switch. I'd go play guard for that position. We moved Gilly Gilpin out to an end, so he'd go first. I'd go. Quinton would do the cross thing in the backfield, and we had Ron Sugar Warner come pulling from left guard, leading the way there. So we turned that play into that was big because we had the personnel to do it. We had the personnel
What
to
do you
do
mean?
that.
You guys played it big. We took it to state.
No,
No, man, you know what I'm saying? No, we played it like you guys played it, man.
I know.
It was our bread and butter as well, is all I'm saying.
We had that play, and then we usually ran a pass to the fullback. I can't remember what it was called though.
Fullback pass.
Nah, there was a different name for it though. I can't remember.
That was that one, and then that crossbook right pass. That was one too. We'd fake that. I'd stay on the end, and we'd fake that cross block, but I'd do a V out. Open all day.
I don't know, man. You know, I think I was capping there because I think our bread and butter play was quick pitch right.
Oh yeah, yeah. Quick left
Give
or
it the
right.
flip.
Give it the flip.
Dude,
Go.
we played one game. We played against Santee.
Santee.
Flip had 7 carries for 6 touchdowns. He got tackled once.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's
Yep.
sick, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I just talked to you wouldn't believe this, Kev. I went up to a golf tournament up in Santee like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Dave Henry was up there, and we were sitting there chilling, talking about it.
Know Dave Henry well.
Yeah, and he was a freshman back when Flip was because he's a year older than me. I was in 8th grade. When Flip, yeah. So
He's
Dave
not
was
older
talking
than
about.
me?
No,
I thought he was my age,
nah,
man.
Nah, he
Hey,
ain't.
Dave, you're looking pretty old, bro.
I'm just playing, Dave. I'm just
Hey,
playing.
bro, but this guy, but he brought that up, and he brought that up about Flip in that game. He said Flip must have touched the ball 4 or 5 times. He scored every time, and every one of them was about almost 80 yards. He said that they kick it in a field goal or they kick it off, and he said he would just wait, or they'd punt it and he'd just wait, and then or whoever was back there, they would just down it. so he could get the ball from back there and then run it all the way. So he said he must have had about 300 yards rushing, 7 carries. He said, "I got cleanest guy on the court or on the field too, cleanest guy on the field."
Hey, I got 2 names that need to go in the mix with those '80s football players. What about Tyler McKeegan?
Dude, I just knew you
What
were going
about
to say that.
Chum?
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Chum, you know what? Chum wasn't a football player. His best game ever was in a JV game, and I was reffing it. And I was sitting there just talking junk to him, man, the whole time. He just started hurting people.
Yeah. He was a big boy.
Other than that, he didn't care. You know,
Yeah.
he was out there because everybody else did it. That wasn't his thing. But Tyler, dude, that guy. I mean, that was
He was an animal.
He was
He
a
was
dog,
my hero.
man.
I mean, that dude was. I mean, it was made my world, man. Watching that, growing up behind him, man, wanting to be like him, you know, and just.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was-
he was left-handed, but he punted right-handed. I mean, he could softball, hits home runs either hand.
That's what I said, bro. It wasn't just one sport with that guy. He was one of the first ones that could do, play every sport. And he was good at it.
I seen him dunk a basketball.
You
You
know,
got hops.
You know what I was thinking? What I was thinking about when we think about past players, up-to-date players, like when Kevin played, we think about all those players that made those good plays, made the runs. We think about the halfback, think about the quarterback making that 0 pass, right there. But we always forget about all those unsung heroes that made that block.
Oh, yeah.
Sprung you loose,
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
different ones were like an end that doesn't catch passes all the time, but you got a tight end. And that pass was there for that certain first down, so you went on to win the game.
Yeah.
But everybody forgets them guys like that. But I remember a lot of our players that did things like that way, except everybody remembers the stars though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I always had a lot of respect for the ones that did those things like that way.
Yeah.
My freshman year, I played end. I never dropped a pass, not one single pass.
How many
Didn't
times?
catch none either.
That's what I said.
I didn't catch none either. but-
How many times they throw it to you?
What?
Hey, that's the exact kind of comedy we need on this show, man. Hey, you guys, man, it is coming up to the 6 o'clock hour, man. I do want to give a big thank you. And you know what, Kev? I think we could all sit around and just sit around a regular table and just talk football, talk about all the past legends, all the unsung heroes. We could talk about this for hours.
Yeah.
I did want to get into basketball too, but that can be held for another episode. You know what I mean?
Tyler, I want to also bring up Tony Provost.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
He played. Matter of fact, I played college football with Tyler and Tony. We all played at Dakota Wesleyan together.
Yep. And I remember seeing some kind of a plaque or a trophy in the trophy case of Tony being All-State.
Yeah, All-State nose guard.
All-State nose guard.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that name up again.
Played for high school.
Yeah.
He also played for high school. Yeah.
He went back and played alumni game every year, I think.
Really?
He also played in the military.
Yeah, he went down and played the alumni
He
game.
also played football in the military.
Wow.
Hey man.
I didn't know
See the
that.
kind of stories we get out, B?
Yeah, I
See the
didn't
kind of
know
stories we
that.
get
I
out?
didn't know that.
Hey man, like I said, man, I want to say thank you to you guys, for coming up here and sharing all the stuff you shared, your time for real, and then the stories are just a blessing. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little chance for a couple shout outs, and then we're gonna go ahead and end the episode. John, you want to give some shout outs?
I want to say thank you to Buff. Him and I talked a while back about football and stuff, and I tell him some stories and things. And we appreciate the respect that he has for me as a ball player. And like he said, we talked about basketball. I said, man, I'd really like to sit down and talk with you and talk a little bit about track too. And I sure appreciate it. I was honored to be here, and I just happened to, I was busy today. My daughter had a flat tire up north, so I took off, and I got back at just before noon. I checked my texts out, and he texted me and said if I could make it up here at 5 today. And so I was really honored to be here, and him and I talked a little bit about that, and I'm glad I made it up here. We didn't get to talk about a lot of things, a lot of plays that you remember, and things like that, like you boys talk about too, basketball and track too, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're gonna get you back on again
Yeah,
too.
we will,
sometime.
definitely will.
I appreciate
Definitely
that.
will.
Yeah.
You guys doing a good job up here.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
And again, Kev, you want to give some shout outs before we end?
I want to be like those pro athletes. First and foremost, I want to give praise to God.
There it is.
Without Him, man, a lot of things couldn't happen. And just recently, I had a lot of prayers answered for me. So I'm really thankful to Him. Big shout out to my family. And in Winnebago is my family. I left a few times, came back, man, and I'll always call this place home. But they're good people. They're really good people.
I just want to say one more thing. I want to thank my coaches that taught me over the years: Tom Harden, Henny Saints, Lathan, Keith Ritchie was my freshman coach in my senior. When I was here my senior year. Nathan Russell came from Decatur. He was my sophomore and junior coach. I want to thank the coaches for teaching me all those things.
Yep.
To me, that went back in the day.
Good one.
I played basketball for Tom Harden back
Yeah.
in Pee Wee days.
Yeah.
Back in, I had elbow pads and knee pads on the basketball court. I'm so embarrassed, man.
I just want to say one more thing too. Everybody, to this day, someone, what year did you play football? So I say, well, 63 to 66. As I graduated 67. Did they have those leather helmets in them days when you played? Oh man, come on, I wasn't that far back.
He's like, oh, come on, yeah.
You know you didn't have no face mask.
He's like, oh, come on now, yeah.
But I just wanted to mention that. Yeah.
All right, man.
Hey, this guy, man, one Halloween, I'm driving by, coming through the ghetto. He stops me. Hey, you can take your mask off now.
All right, man.
Thanks for the friendship, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Big Voice Sports Talk Show on 100.9 FM. This is KWTN, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe in Nebraska, the Big Voice Radio. And B-Luv, we are out.
Yeah, we're out.
See you guys next week. All right.
The Big Voice. KWTN 100.9 FM. Allen, Nebraska. The official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe.